Hi everybody. In this example, I have a pool of different employees, and then I want to assign them to each of these different projects that we have. So one person per project. And I want to make sure also that I don't assign that person more than once. In other words, I don't want to see Lurch maybe on the first one and also be assigned on, let's say, Amsterdam here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using a combination of different functions, or a nesting of different functions. One is going to be the index, the other one's going to be the match, the row function, and the large function, believe it or not, quite a few. And we're going to have to do some special modifications to the worksheet as well. So with all of that said, when you get done with something like this, you're able to randomly apply from your list employees, or whatever you have in there as far as your list goes, and be able to assign them so that they don't get assigned but just once, which is a pretty difficult feat. But it isn't for a formula we're going to be doing, this whole series of formula here. Okay, so first thing we're going to is we need to set up a very short formula over here on the side for each one of these different employees. And it's going to be we're going to be using the rand function for this. And it's just going to assign a random numeric value to this. And that's going to allow us then to be able to randomly eventually choose different employees and have them assigned, and at the same time be able to make it so where they don't get assigned more than one time over here. So we're going to go over here at G3, we'll type in equal R, A, and D, or part of it, double click it, all right, and then just kind of close it off. And then enter it in, it'll give us some random number. We'll copy that all the way down to Janice. Okay, so that's the first formula. That was the easy one. This formula is going to be the one that has all those other functions in it. So it's quite a nesting of functions. So we're going to start out with the equal. All right, we're going to type in index, so IN, and then we'll double click on an index. Then we're going to click on to F3. Now F3 is going to be our first employee that we're going to be picking from, from the pool. So we'll click onto that, and we'll drag it all the way down to F13, which will be the last employee there. All right. Now, what we need to do is we need to make sure that this list is made completely absolute, reference-wise. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the F4 key, because we want to make sure that when we go to copy the formula down, all right, that the reference to this list does not change. So that's the first thing. Then we're going to use the match function. So we'll do a comma and then an M. You'll see match. Then we're going to do the LA for large. And there's only one in there, so there's large. And then we're going to select the range of G3 through G13. So that's going to be the randomization column that we did. So we're going to go ahead and select that range. Then we want to make sure that that doesn't change either when we go to copy the formula down. So we'll make that thing fully absolute. So we'll hit the F4 for that. And then we'll put a comma in there. And then we're going to hit the letter RO. And we'll have row. And we'll double click onto that. And we're just going to do a left and right parenthesis. All right. And then we're going to do another right parenthesis just to kind of balance it all off up to that point. Then we're going to do a comma. All right. And now we're going to select the range of G3, which will be, again, that randomization column again. So we're going to start with G3 here. And I can't grab onto it there, so I'm just going to start from the bottom and kind of drag it back up to the top like that. And of course I want to make that once again absolute. So we'll hit the F4 key. Then we'll do a comma, then a 0, and then 2 right parentheses to balance everything off. Now that's quite a formula there, but it's kind of like chemicals. You mix all these different chemicals up, and they might not seem like they make much sense, but you mix them all together, and boom, something happens, right? So same thing here. Just quite a few different functions, but as you can see, it's pretty much pretty logical in the way it's kind of laid out here. But nonetheless, if this is something that you would want to put together, just keep in mind that I mean, you could have 10 times this number. I mean, so the range is what it is. You can have as many people in here. The key would be if you wanted to make sure that you had a different person assigned to each one of these, that you make sure that you've got more people or as many people as what you need to assign to, all right? So that only makes sense. But other than that, I mean, it's limitless as far as how big you can make this go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit the Enter key. I get a little error there, and I just noticed that I must have held down the left parenthesis a little bit too long there, so I'm going to just go ahead and hit OK. Go back over here and just backspace one of those out. All right. Normally I would maybe just start the video over again and not have that error in there, but you get to a point where you have a lot of a lot of parentheses that you need. It's very easy to put an extra one in there and not realize what you did. So it's nice to have that little error message come up to let you know that. Doesn't really tell you what you did wrong per se, but it just tells you got an error. But I right when I hit it, I had seen that over on the left there. So anyway, so once you fix that, we hit the Enter key, there we go. And then we go ahead and copy that down to the last one there. And that's it. Now, the F9 key is your, what we would call the recalculation key. And every time you hit it, it's going to change the assignment of these employees. But you'll notice that regardless of how many times I hit that F9 key, I get a unique assignment list over on the side there. So that's pretty slick. So if there's any time that you ever need to put together something like this to assign randomly, names or whatever it is that you want to assign, this is the way to go. And hopefully maybe you can use this at some point in your careers. Anyway, thanks for watching the video and take care.